Did you know that ketones supercharge your fast? What does that even mean? Are you familiar with ketones? You haven't got to check out the last video I did. Got to check it out. But fasting is becoming this thing. What is it? And I'll break down fasting in a bigger way in another video. But in short answer is fasting is reducing the time that you're eating. That's all it is. A fasting is like you didn't eat it. You took it out and you didn't do it. So you can do a food fast, right? You don't eat for 3 days. You fast it for 3 days. Not that I recommend that. But you can do it. Don't necessarily recommend it for most people. So how do ketones play a role with supercharging your fast? Well, what happens is humans have fasted not on purpose. By the way, they wouldn't choose to fast. It was all because there wasn't food available, right? So they were forced to fast. Some people call that famine. And so fasting is now something that we want to create in our life because there's a lot of health benefits. The longer you fast can create this autophagy, internal cellular cleansing, which we found some pretty cool stuff on that with ketones. And then short fast is called intermittent fasting, where you only fast maybe, we call it 16-8. That's an example. So you go 16 hours with no food and then 8 hours with food, and you eat all your calories in 8 hours. Why is that beneficial for especially weight loss? Is because you have less time to eat your food. If you have less time to eat, you're less likely to overeat. Right? Pretty cool, but it's a good strategy for busy people with busy lives that want to manage their weight or maybe want to lose weight. They just can't figure it out. Fasting's a great strategy. But how do ketones supercharge that? Well, this is what I figured out. A lot of people that start fasting also start eating healthier. And they might even go lower carb. Or what happens is, let's say that you're a busy entrepreneur and you work your butt off like I do and you're constantly on the go and you're grinding, you're pushing all the time. Well, you need fuel also. So if you're fasting, let's say you're doing an intermittent fast, you're going to wait till noon to eat, and then you're going to eat your last meal before 8 p.m., hypothetically. Now, intermittent fasting can be any time of the day. It's just meaning that you're prolonging the eating, you're shortening your eating period of your day. You're eating all your calories in a certain time. So what happens is that, let's say that you don't have breakfast and you're going to wait till lunch. Well, what if you are suffering? What if you need fuel? Maybe you wake up and your body's like, it's not tapped into your fat stores as well. And there's some mechanisms of why that can happen. And so you come out of your day kind of sluggish or slow, and you're trying to pound caffeine just to get through your day because it doesn't break your fast, right? Coffee or things that doesn't have any calories in it won't pop your blood sugar if it doesn't, or your insulin, you won't break your fast, right? So depends on people's definition of fasting. And so anyway, like I said, I'm gonna have a better video for the fasting and explain it in greater detail. So I'll probably tag it somewhere here. So anyway, ketones don't break your fast, actually improve the efficiencies of autophagy, that cellular cleansing, helps you release damaged protein out of your brain, and gives you sustained energy so you can prolong your fast. You could even maybe go a little further. Maybe you go to 17 or 18 hours fasted and you try to eat all your calories in a less time. Now, I do caution people that if you can't eat enough calories to sustain your life in the 8 hours, then you have to lengthen your eating window. Give yourself 10 hours to eat that. Some people undereat too much, too long. Not a good thing. Like I said, I'll do some more videos on that. But ketones basically give you sustained energy fuel without breaking your fast. I personally intermittent fast often, 3 to 5 times a week, and then I refeed. Really important, refeed, not cheat, but I refeed to the rest of the times, right? If I intermittent fast less or more. Okay, so here's what ketones, how I use a ketone. So I drink ketones. And I don't follow a strict ketogenic diet anymore. I follow kind of a hybrid, and I cycle in and out of being in ketosis endogenously, but I always exogenously or drink ketones along the way. So I have ketones in the morning, prolong my morning. Like right now, I think it's 11:30, haven't eaten yet. I'll probably eat sometime between 12 and 1. I had ketones first in the morning. That's what I did. And that's what's carried me this far. And then I'll do another one in the afternoon. Because what I want therapeutic ketones in my system while I'm figuring. So if I'm off of my macros, I don't suffer. My job doesn't suffer. My kids don't suffer. My family doesn't suffer. So it's like a fail safe, but also it allows me to go a little longer so I can maybe tap into that autophagy component, which is super exciting. So intermittent fasting or fasting with ketones is the greatest breakthrough I've ever seen to amplify and accelerate your results to give you the best feeling. Now, what about a long-term fast? What if you want to do a 24-hour fast or a 60-hour fast? Now, this gets more complicated because your body's going through a lot of shifts and changes when you're trying to do a long-term fast. So what I do for that is I say, okay, listen, you're going to want to have ketones at least twice a day, every day through this process because you still got to live your life. Now, if you can lock up to the woods and maybe you lock yourself in the woods in Montana somewhere and you can suffer a little bit without food, great. You're disciplined, awesome. But why not be optimal? Also, it's going to push you to that autophagy and help you with the cellular cleansing, help you with glutathione upregulation so that you can detox a little bit more efficiently while you're fasting. And you can go. I've actually the longest fast I did was 14 days. I don't recommend that anymore. I think the return on your investment is not very good. I think even 5 days return's not very good. But 3 days, you can justify that. If you're sick, work with your doctor. Do not do that without working with your doctor on long-term fasting, because there's a lot of downsides. Your blood sugar can crash. With ketones, your blood sugar might come down, but ketones will still fuel you, so you feel good. So there's a lot of reasons why you can utilize this to supercharge your results. And remember, you still get all the benefits, even if you're not doing a ketogenic diet while intermittent fasting. You still get all the benefits of being in ketosis. You get the energy, the focus, the mood, the sleep, the athletic performance, protects muscle loss if your diet's off, which most people's diets aren't perfect. They're close, but not perfect. So if you're off, the ketones are kind of your insurance policy. It's going to protect you from doing dumb things to yourself, but maybe just misinformed, or life gets busy. I have 4 kids. I have a few companies. My wife and I are busy. Got coach sports, everything going on. I need as much on the backside to protect me from when I'm not perfect. And that's what ketones are there for, and how they will help you. And then you get all the added benefits, the anti-aging, the quality of skin, the muscle preservation, the energy, and you just feel good. And then you can figure it out. Remember though, last thing about fasting is fasting should not be a competitive thing. Fasting is something, it's a tool you utilize within your lifestyle. I don't fast every day. I don't intermittent fast every day. I don't prolong fast every month. But what I do is I sprinkle it in based off of how active I am, how much I'm overeating, how the holidays are going. If you're in holiday week, I might fast a little bit more so that on the weekend, I maybe have a little bit more fun and I refeed a little bit more aggressively. So it keeps me kind of in line. It's a great tool for me to utilize to enjoy my life, have my cake and eat it too. And combining that with ketones is the best secret I've ever found for long-term health. So cheers, y'all. Hey, if you haven't already, check out my bio. You can get some ketones and check out try them. They're gonna change your life forever. I do recommend try it for 60 days. It'll be the biggest shift and change you'll ever feel in your overall health.